Good morning. It's Tuesday, May the 19th, and you're sitting with me on a kind of dreary Tuesday morning. We've had lots of rain, but I did see a giant blue jay just now on my patio. So it's going to be a beautiful day because it's still spring, so that's a good thing. And I hope you are doing well, and I hope you're not caught up in a lot of the confusion that we're all feeling about what are the rules, what are we moving into. I used to live in Wisconsin and live close to the border, like an hour away from Lake Geneva now. And I know in the Lake Geneva paper, Kristen shared with me the headlines from the weekend were people from Illinois are shopping and going through downtown Lake Geneva and out on the piers and out on the lake. And they're even saying in the headlines, like, the Illinois tourists are coming up there and not wearing masks and getting together in groups. And that's because Wisconsin's Supreme Court overturned the governor's stay at home and wearing masks. And so what's happened is different mayors have continued the laws about face mask and trying to stay at home if possible. But people from other states, which would be Illinois or from Minnesota, are coming in and going to the nice outdoor places in the lakes and creating problems for the people who live there and are trying to stay safe. So I know this is confusing for everybody, and it's going on all over the country. So remember to just stay calm. And I was listening to discussion this morning on the Chicago radio about pandemic shaming. So let's not be the ones who are doing pandemic shaming when you're out in the stores or you see people you think are not taking the precautions they need to take. Remember, the Buddhist teachings are that we're trying to let go of all of those judgments and that critical nature. That's why we practice loving kindness. And as we move closer and closer to spiritual liberation, we're letting go of our perceptions about things, our thoughts about things, our negative perceptions and this negative thinking altogether. And we become more aware of a broader world and that all people aren't thinking or believing the same way we do. And it's perfectly okay. We have to kind of rise above what we see going on in the outside world to be able to find the kind of peace we're looking for. So if you think other people decide which places you can be, or if you need to get groceries, decide which stores are still taking precautions. And if you feel people aren't wearing masks, maybe make a lot of masks and give them out for free to people who you think are, maybe people don't have a mask. Maybe they're dealing in a situation that we can't even imagine. So it's a time to be calm and to be a beacon of light. And that's always going to make more of a difference in the world than judging others and living in fear, because at the base of that judgment is fear. And so we can work very hard to make the world a better place, but to judge it and to live in fear and to live in a kind of negative spirit isn't what we want either. Okay, so enough of me. I know so many of you are doing wonderful things and you keep coming up with really creative ideas. I know at the temple we are very concerned about opening up too soon, and so it will be a while. We'll still be trying to do everything we do virtually. I hope I'm back. And things that are important to you that you'd like us to be doing, please let us know. If you have an idea, if you think there's something that we could be adding to our lineup of available programs that you'd like, let us know. Okay, let's sit and let's just be thinking a lot about having that spaciousness that allows us to live in a world with all of these beings and people who are completely different from us. And we can't control them. We can do our best to create our own world. So we need to let go of needing to have other people be just like us. Okay? That includes even our loved ones. We have to accept them as they are. Easier said than done, you're saying, right? I know that. I know it well. Okay. So gently close your eyes. Just allow yourself to breathe in and out. Paying attention to that movement of your breath and the sensations that you feel in your body. Focusing on our breath brings us to the present moment. That's where we want to be living. Let go of maybe a little argument you were having with a loved one just a few minutes ago. Just let it go. If you're worrying about what's coming next, how we begin to create a new normal, let that go. Right now we can be in the present moment. Everything in this moment is just fine. We're here, we're breathing. Find that spaciousness, that openness. Everything we let go of allows that spaciousness within us to open up and expand. Feel your breath either around your nostrils or feel it quite literally in your belly. Put your hand on your belly and feel it rise as you exhale, and feel it pull back in a little bit when you exhale. Inhale, your belly goes out. Exhale, your belly goes in. And it's good for us to be feeling it in our bellies now. If we're tense or fearful or angry or have any of the things that make sense to have during this experience our world is going through, we tend not to breathe as deeply. We want to protect our entire respiratory system, right? So feeling it in our bellies is really therapeutic right now. Get that oxygen down below your chest. Be aware of how the sensations in your body and the feeling of your body can begin to change. When we stop, just breathe and be with that. Let your thoughts just come and go naturally without feeding them your attention. You may still be aware of your thoughts, and you can begin to see what your habitual tendencies, what they are, what those thinking formations are. We can also just think of those as our habitual tendencies. Do we worry a lot? Are we thinking about injustices we feel towards ourselves or towards the world? Are those habitual tendencies anger, negativity? But we can see that as they pass. We don't have to get caught up in them to begin to recognize, wow, what are my habitual thought patterns? Just be aware of that. Just keep coming back to your breath, though. You may see that some of those habitual patterns and tendencies are harder to not pay attention to than others. Just note them. Yep, there you are. Note, there you are again. And let them go. Right now, we don't need to be paying our attention to them. That's feeding those thoughts. Breathe in through your nostrils. Feel the calmness, the peace. You can take it with you. Begin with yourself. May I be well. May I continue to feel safe. May I be content. May I be at peace. Now think of that circle of beings, and you can include your pets. May my loved ones, my friends, my family, the wonderful people I'm living with at this moment, the wonderful animals that are helping me find peace and a different attitude. May each one of the ones I think of most immediately, whether they're with me or whether they're afar, may each one of them continue to be well, or their health to be improving. May they be content. May they be at peace, and may they feel safe. Now extend this out to the community that you want to connect with, your neighborhood, your church, a group of friends that you see on a regular basis. It has formed a kind of community. Your temple community, an organization where you volunteer and you may not be able to right now, May all these groups, all of your different communities or sanghas, may all of these groups, the members in them, some you know very well, some are strangers to you, some are just acquaintances, some may be your difficult people. May everyone in this group, in this community, be well. May they all feel safe. May they be content. And may they be at peace. Now let the same feeling radiate out as goodwill, to the entire world and all the beings, human beings and non-human beings, including all creatures, all humans, all beings who are invisible to us, beings being born and beings dying. Move out all over this world and inside this world and out into space. Just allow this feeling of goodwill to extend out into infinity. There's no limit. That also means there's no one we've left out. We're willing to share and express goodwill from our hearts to all living beings. And as you feel that spaciousness, you'll feel it inside yourselves and you'll feel it around you. Just sit with that. This quality of goodwill is bigger than everything in our worlds. It can overcome, this practice can overcome the little things in our lives that bother us or make us be fearful. But as soon as we can learn to have that feeling of radiating this quality out, that wonderful quality can be enough to let those others of fear and frustration and anger and even that feeling of confinement, this quality that we can learn to radiate out beyond us, but it comes from within us, can help us let go of those other qualities that cause us to constrict, to tighten up. Now just continue sitting. I'm going to finish the video. We may have had problems with it today, so I'm going to end it here, but I want you to Just continue sitting as long as you can, just breathing, just staying in this peaceful, each breath, stay with each breath as long as you can, as long as you don't have to get back to dealing with something else. Feeling how that expansion and sending out that goodwill, beginning with yourself, how it can lighten the burden, lighten the load of stress that we're carrying, of disinformation or lack of information or lack of clarity going on in the world. This is just an accelerated feeling, I think, than what's always going on, right? So this is how we learn to deal with it. We can be in the midst of it and still be radiating out goodwill. Okay, thank you so much. And Thursday morning, I'll be with you again. Okay, bye-bye.